Exodus introduction and placement in the Torah. The second book in the Torah is called Exodus in English, a reference of the book narrative about God's redemption of the Israelites from Egyptian enslavement, while the English title follows the traditional Greek and Latin designations used for this book as Shema, meaning names short for, and these names are from the opening Hebrew words of Exodus 1:1 that introduce the names of sons of Jacob who journeyed down to Egypt. Exodus is the second largest book in the Torah, just ahead of Numbers, containing some 1,209 verses distributed over 40 chapters. The placement of Exodus in the Pentateuch may not seem to be of particular importance, while we come to appreciate that the story would make little sense apart from Genesis material. Genesis sets the stage in important ways, not least in explaining the origins of the people of Israel and why Israel is in Egypt. Largely unexplained concepts in Exodus, such as the importance of Israel having become a numerous people, the Lord's ownership of people, traveling to a promised land, or even the Lord's resolve to remain with Israel despite being a rebellious people, are intricately related to events in the previous book. Further, as mentioned in our discussion of Genesis, it is important to recognize that the Torah begins not with Israel, with the commandments of Torah, but with all humanity and creation of the larger universal world. It is in Exodus that the narrowed focus which began in Genesis 12 become fully assumed and continue throughout the rest of the Hebrew Bible. Page 89 and 88. Exodus also leads naturally into Leviticus. The instruction given in Leviticus assumed the existence of newly constructed tabernacle, the completion of which is described in the last chapter of Exodus. Exodus closes with God's glory descending into the tabernacle, and Leviticus continues from this point, explicating how Israel is to live in God's presence. Overview of Exodus. Exodus is relatively easy to outline. Exodus 1 to 15 contains the story of the Egyptian oppression of the Israelites, which leads into 10 plagues and culminates into the crossing of the Sea of Reeds, traditionally but likely incorrectly rendered as the Red Sea by the Israelites, and the drowning of the pursuing Egyptian army. Exodus 16 to 18 contains several narratives dealing with Israel's journey to Mount Sinai. Chapters 19 to 24 relate the story of the encounter between God and the Israelites at Mount Sinai, which includes the giving the Ten Commandments, as well as a host of other legislation. Chapters 25 to 31 and 35 to 40 contain a detailed instructions on building and consecrating the portable tent shrine that the Israelites travel with on their wanderings toward the Holy Land. In the middle of this material, one finds a golden calf episode and a reaffirmation of God's relationship to Israel in the wake of this breach. Contemporary controversies. Scholars have long argued over the extent to which Exodus grows out of memories of actual historical events. The current consensus is that the general portrayal of a united Israelite people going down to Egypt, multiplying, being enslaved, and being freed en masse is based on a national legend popular during the monarchic period that attempts to narrate Israel's understanding of her national origins and the meaning of her peoplehood. Page 90 and 89. However, many scholars still believe that at least some ancestors of the ancient Israelites may have escaped Egyptian bondage, and that the book contains a number of details that illuminate aspects of the origins of Israel's religion. Thus, the role played by Jethro, Moses' Midianite father-in-law, is often understood to provide an important clue about. I'm going to read the rest in my head now because it's easier for me, but I can still record. I've just been recording myself and still recording myself reading. Should I stop recording myself and reading and go for a walk now?
Yeah,
because it's 11:59.
Yeah.
Right. So, right, thanks for watching the video. Read the description below. Assalamu alaikum.